So what are we up to, Dan?
So we've just had the latest weather forecast, and as you can see, this is the old system dying off and filtering away. We still have the swell coming in that's going to hit us from the old system, and then our plan is, because we're fast enough to stay ahead of this system here, we should be able to just stay ahead enough that it isn't dangerous, and then but we are going to have a sandwich between the wind and the swell in these systems. So we are through the worst of the weather. We had a pretty bumpy ride over the last couple of days, but as you can see now, it's lovely, flat and calm. The weather has improved, the wind has died down, the swell has died down. We are due to see land tomorrow morning.
Very excited about that?
Very excited about that.
And we get cell phone signal again?
Cell phone signal and beer.
Perfect. And what was your phone saying the other day about your use of it?
My average use over the last week was 2 minutes a day. It's the lowest it's ever going to be, and it's the lowest it's ever been.
Good old no Wi-Fi.
Good old no Wi-Fi.
Where are we, Peter?
We're in Chile.
So there it is on the chart. How many days at sea have we had?
Quite a few. So we're just driving in, coming up to the coast of Chile, and our destination is Puerto Montt.
And how many days at sea we had?
We've been 9 days at sea so far.
Nice.
Some pretty gnarly weather, and now it's just got a bit choppy again, but we're nearly there.
Grey Wolf is not your average pleasure yacht. It attracts quite a lot of attention, as we found out when the Chilean Armada did a couple of low-flying passes over the boat to have a look.
Around again.
It was definitely us he's checking out.
I might call him up. You can get his ID.
We then had to navigate through the fjord. There was a highway for small fishing boats, ferries and fishing buoys. This is where the commercial radar came in handy.
She's a grey old day. So we're in the channel. Tell me some features of the channel.
There's lots of boats in the channel. There's some sort of structure up ahead in the middle of the channel. There's a penguin and a seal. So a lot more interesting than the ocean.
What else? What's our boat speed at the moment?
Our boat speed is 16 knots.
And why is that?
That is because of the current running through the channel.
So we knew about the current, so what did we do last night in order to maximise it?
We waited until the tide was coming in to the channel to maximise speed.
There's some current there.
You can see those lines going across. So one of the advantages of Grey Wolf is the commercial radar, and that allows us to work out a target's relative movements in regards to us. So we can track the targets and see what their relative course is and work out if they're a threat or not. So even though we have about 7 targets around us now, we can tell that none of them are a threat to us thanks to the commercial radar.
So this little fishing boat thinks he knows the rules better than us. He's on our port side and right now on a direct collision course. Which is why we're getting all those alarms.
End up don't turning fast enough. Unfortunately, he's not missing this.
Well, good on being the stand-on vessel. Well stood on.
Right, we can now get back to my calculation.
Okay, Dan, got a vessel coming head on. What's the rules?
So the rule is we both go to starboard and pass port on the port side.
Port to port.
Okay.
Port.
So
And
what are
what-
you going to do now?
I am going to check the depths on the chart and turn the boat to starboard.
So he clearly understands what you're doing. He's not got any doubt.
Want me to do that?
Yeah.
Yep. So our bold is about 15 or 20 degrees. So basically you want to do it positive early and in good seamanship. So you do it, make it very obvious, you do it early enough so he knows exactly what you're doing.
So because we've got restricted visibility and we've got clear, we're not constrained at all really, then my sort of say passing about a half mile. Because he's looking exactly the same thing as you are, basically going, right, so what's going on here? Okay, they're going to pass port to port.
But he's a big boat, he's 150 metres passenger boat. You don't want him to suddenly appear into the darkness going right in front.
And we might even call him and say, because normally they go port to port with him, but
Fishing markers as well, don't you?
yeah. See the second boat yet or no?
No, he's still a while away.
Fishing buoy there, fishing buoy there, fishing buoy there.
And the fishing boat over there. Yeah, okay. So that is our second boat?
Yeah, that's our first one.
Sorry?
That's the second one.
Yeah.
One, two.
Okay, so he's a fishing guy, which is why he's not turned on that main course. This guy started really turning now, so he's intended to come down here.
Yeah.
So the minute you're behind this one, which you're going to be easily, I'd turn back to here, and then you want to go port to port with him, if he's following that course. We're playing dodgems.
Yes, I see that. So we're just getting the boat ready for coming into the marina. So getting all the fenders ready and getting all the lines ready. We currently have a pilot on board to guide us in.
Yeah. And good old beautiful sunny Chile. So, how does it feel like to be in shore waters?
It's like a mill pond in here compared to what we have had. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's a bit tougher on navigation, eh?
Yeah, a bit more tougher, but it's nice to see land.
Nice to use your brain a bit and weave in and out of traffic.
Yes. A bit more challenging.
When we reached Portamont, we had to wait for a pilot to come on board to guide us through an even smaller channel into the marina, because for foreign vessels over 50 tons it was compulsory.
Good to see some wildlife over here.
We had some seals, some penguins, and a dolphin, and a lot of birds.
You got it?
I got it.
Well done.
He's dancing for me. He's dancing for me.
Dancing for you.
Yeah.
So then, what are you looking forward to when we step in 3 foot ashore?
Having a beer, Jerry.
Yes, a local beer or you
Not fussy.
not fussy? I'm looking forward to some Chilean red wine.
I join you.
Yeah. Bottle or two.
Do you know what this is?
This is a forward-looking sonar.
And what does that do?
It shows you everything that you can't see.
Yeah, so basically what it does is, the similar as the sonar tells us how deep it is, you can project it forward and you can do whatever radius you want.
Yep.
So you can have an arc in front of you at a certain distance and a certain depth, so you can tell what's in front of you. So if you're approaching a bay you've never been into before, you can basically skim it along the surface and have it just 5 meters down, and it will tell you as soon as the bottom goes less than 5 meters.
Right.
So if there's a random rock that's possibly not on the chart or anything like that, you can see it well before the boat gets to it, whereas a depth sounder will only tell you once it's under you, so you've got very little time to react.
Nice.
So it has huge advantages. There's a few tweaking problems where it's that gets a lot of aeration because it's so far forward.
Yeah.
So it's just, you've got to be in quite flat conditions, and obviously you can't be hooning around at 10 knots doing it, because even if you see it 60 meters out, you're on top of it before you can react.
Nice.
Today we had to get as much done on the boat as possible so we could see some more of Chile. We had to fix the forward-looking sonar and the trash compactor because neither were working as they should. Once we had got them working, we then went into one of the marina's conference rooms with every laptop and computer we could find and set up downloading updates. Because Wi-Fi is rare, we had to take advantage and get everything done that we could, and because of how complex and electronically controlled Grey Wolf is, of course you're going to have to do some updates. So for the rest of the day we drained the marina's Wi-Fi, downloading software updates for everything from the radars to iPads.
Range, and it's in a pod and it goes down mechanically, and we expose it, and so at the present time it's not going down. Behind here, if you take that off and then take this cover off,
Yep.
there's a couple of fuses, and I suspect that one of those is blown. There's 2 breakers, I think, on
Sonar and sonar left. Or something.
sonar and sonar
Yeah, lift. Yeah.
lift, yeah. And then the controller's on the top. So just a question of finding out why it doesn't go down.
Okay, let's have a look.
So Dan, what have you found?
So we've taken these covers off and we've checked all the fuses, and we found this 4 amp fuse that's blown. So hopefully now when we turn it on, it will work perfectly again.
Yay!
And then we need to find out the reason why the fuse blew.
And I know that because we had shitty crew.
There we go.
No, we didn't check it before we launched it. Okay, this is the forward sonar. All the controls are here, and then as you can see here on the screen, it basically does a sweeping arc in front of us, and we can control the distance and the angle. So right now, and we've got it 60 meters on 8 degrees, and it has a sweeping of 120. So we can change that out to 144. We can change the range closer or further away, and depending on the angle is how deep. So now we're at 150 meters at 21 meters deep, so obviously we're going to start picking up some bottom, or possibly these boats in front of us, but really it's to be giving us a pre-warning if anything is coming. So 60 metres ahead, 5 metres down, and we can quickly see if rocks or anything bad is ahead of us.
Nice.
Day 24, Sunday the 11th of November. We stayed the night in Portavaras, waking up with a slight hangover, and then headed out to see some more of the sights. My time in Portavaras and in Chile in general has encouraged me to start learning Spanish. Around 20 countries in the world and around 430 million people speak the language, so I think it would be pretty cool and helpful for me to try and learn. I reflected on my choices over the last few years, and I never thought that when I applied to do an apprenticeship at Berthon, that a few years on I'd be in South America on an amazing yacht, meeting new people and seeing some incredible places. Thinking back, I definitely made the right decision. So today was the day I had to leave Grey Wolf behind and headed back to Berthon HQ and let the next lucky apprentice have some time. I've learned an astonishing amount that I can bring back to Berthon, and I've met some amazing people. I have to thank Peter and the Grey Wolf crew for giving us the opportunity to do these trips, and I have to especially thank Berthon for allowing me to go off for a month and have an amazing experience. One thing I will say is if you're thinking about doing any type of apprenticeship at Berthon, but you aren't sure, definitely take these types of experiences into consideration. You won't find many other companies in the marine industry who will send you aboard for a month to go and work on a luxury expedition yacht.
We are in Puerto Montt in Chile, and we've come from Margarita, stopping at Easter Island en route. Grey Wolf is not your average kind of boat. It's extremely specific in what it's built for. It's a very robust boat. It's also a very complicated boat, but it is a very strong, reliable boat. I like it.
Yeah, how was the trip?
The trip was good. I had some rough seas and some calm seas. Seen a little wildlife and seen some amazing places.
What was your highlight?
Highlight was probably Easter Island, because it's a place that you wouldn't normally go on your average holiday.
And what did you see there?
Saw some pretty cool statues and just a different way of life, really.
Yeah, nice.
Worst moment was probably being sick.
Yeah.
That wasn't enjoyable, but got over that eventually.
And when was that?
That was the first night we left Margarita.
Yeah.
And then for the next couple of days after that.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing once you get out there and actually start enjoying it, how different it feels rather than when you're
in bed.
Yeah.
Feeling rough.
And what about those 7 metre seas? You happy
They were,
that we're in this and not a sailboat or something?
Yeah, imagine being in a sailboat, I would be sick, I think. But I was alright during those. That was an interesting experience. It was fun.
Yeah, nice.
So I've learned quite a lot working on the boat, how to improvise and how to work in a different environment where you don't have everything at your disposal. It's been a challenge and it's been good.
No. And you can see yourself keeping doing it?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It hasn't put me off in any way. But yeah, it's been good. Enjoyed it. People that are looking to do an apprenticeship, I'd say definitely do it, because it takes you to places you wouldn't normally go. It gives you experiences that you wouldn't have at any other company. And yeah, it's been good to learn a lot.